And welcome to Healthcare Sucks. In our last video, I was talking about these factories that are set up to produce all this stuff and how, with the mass shortages and all that, they're like cities. I put to you that we're not seeing no sick military still, none of that the Emperor's family, any of that. I believe, honestly, that since they 12 monkeyed this in their own labs, they have a preventative agent, whether it be a antiviral, a uh, a some preventative type of immunization against the Wuhan 19, and that they're using it now with these cities that are like factories, guys. We have not seen no pictures of them in ages. And you can't tell me that they're not still running these people, because if you can lock up millions of people, these people that are already basically locked up in these slave camps, which I call them, these cities that they only get to go visit their families once or twice a year, if that. And they even bring their kids and raise their kids to take up and work in these. That's slavery, guys. Is what in China, that's what we're looking at. But my point is, they're not without all these supplies and stuff. So real quick, I'm going to put to you, and then we're going to watch this, and you make your decision and let me know what you think. But let's say for 1 second that this thing was their plan, deep in their skull. If you watch some of my videos, I talk about the Joker and how he thought everything out. This being one of their medieval plans. We'll release this on the people. Then we'll make them feel sorry for us. We'll have them send all their supplies of their face masks and their medical goods that we make in China. And then in China, we're going to say we're not, which they are. They're saying we're not going to ship anything out to America. We're not going to ship any medicines out. We can't make it. What if this was all is a plan that's going to roll out? Think about it for a minute. It could go very deep. I could go way deep with this idea. And if you think I trust China's government, the poor people and the Wuhan people, they're slaves, guys. It's sad. But the government, they're evil. So let's watch this and you make the decision.
Korean city hardest hit by the coronavirus are scrambling to get their hands on face masks in a bid to protect themselves from the virus. But there are fears that the large number of people trying to get hold of masks could cause the virus to actually spread even more. Kim Sung-min reports.
Hundreds of shoppers lined up in front of a large retail store in Daegu even before.
I put to you, they've got warehouses. They've got factories still pumping this stuff out for their own people in medical supplies. You want to know why? Watch this. Then you let me know what you think, guys.
A workplace the size of Monaco. For these 17,000 employees, it's reality. They come from all over China, seeking a brighter future at this factory called WUHAN. Workers craft coffee makers, irons, and electric grills in staggering quantities every single day. But WUHAN is more than a steady paycheck. It's home. People get married here. They send their kids to school here, but the work never stops. WUHAN's managers are on a mission to produce new products for every corner of the globe that could forever change the way we think of made in China. Step behind the closed doors of modern China into a factory the size of a city.
17,000 employees or more. And they can retool. What retool means, I was a machinist, means, especially with the CNC era computer stuff that we have now, they can engineer, make molds. They can produce what that means is they can produce anything, period. And it don't take long to change things and produce this thing or produce that thing. You think I'm like off on what I told you at the beginning of this video? Grab your shorts and watch this.
Welcome to the place that calls itself Factory of the World. By the time you finish watching this program, WUHAN's 17,000 Chinese workers will produce nearly 20,000 electrical appliances. Every day they churn out 60,000 irons. Every month, WUHAN makes 36,000 coffee makers. That's 2 new machines for every Starbucks on the planet. And every year, these laborers produce a staggering 18 million electric grills. Stacked side by side, they'd span the Atlantic from New York to London. Chances are you own something built right here. Factories like these don't exist in North America or Europe, but they're not uncommon in China where labor is cheap. WUHAN runs on human sweat alone. No need for robots. To ensure non-stop production, workers need a steady stream of parts. Someone has to make sure those parts get to the right place in time.
Are you listening to this, guys? Are you listening to this? Steady stream of parts. The city that never sleeps. The city that never stops. The city with an unimaginary, unthinkable supply of parts to continue running and making items. Period. And if you think those things are stopped now, or they're not up to something, they're not making something, this is not paranoia. Even at the minimum, they're making all these supplies, medications, face masks, and all these things to prepare for what's coming. And if you think they couldn't mass produce a vaccination or antiviral or a cure, whatever you want to call it, and one of these factories can't be retooled for that, then you're wrong. I put to you it can. I put to you it already is. They're pulling our legs. It's not the people. It's the government, man. Just keep listening to what's going on. This is nothing more than a slave labor camp.
This is Ming Long Ho. He started work at WUHAN in 1994.
I'm in charge of production control. Production control is the brain of the factory. Its main function is to coordinate each department.
If any of WUHAN's factories run out of parts, Mr. He's job is on the line.
The production line cannot wait. We have to guarantee that our production is smooth. Running out of materials would affect our efficiency, affect our productivity, and affect our revenue. So I have to fix this in the shortest time possible.
Today, a problem at the iron factory needs smoothing out. Workers on the iron line are low on a crucial part. To keep up production, they need 2,000 units, and they need them now.
Just now I found out the main problems here at the iron department. One major problem is the case for model 603. They need 2,000 right now.
Traditional plants use outside suppliers for their components, not WUHAN. To slash costs and stay competitive, WUHAN builds its own parts on site. So Mr. He's supplier is only a bike ride away. But even the supplier is dangerously low on stock. Mr. He has found barely enough parts to last the day. when he gets another urgent call. Now the grill factory is low on a crucial component. Grills are the company's most profitable products. WUHAN started producing one line of grills in 1994. Now, 60 assembly lines churn out 800 different models. Workers make one grill every 12 seconds. That's 50,000 grills per day, or 1.5 million per month.
So how many of these do you think they can produce in a second? How many? 10,000? In an hour? How many millions? Not just these, the M94s, whatever you want. How many do you think they can produce in an hour? So you really think those factories are closed down now, do you? You really think they need all of our supplies back over there, guys? Are you not getting what I'm beginning to... If you watch my videos, guys, I've been on this since the beginning. And I think there's something afoot. And I'm not trying to pull anybody's chain or paranoia or anything. I think there's a plan. I do. This is no accident, guys. And then with pulling all of our stuff from different countries and giving it back to these guys, again, the people I don't have a problem with. I've said it a dozen times. It's the government. And once we give our stuff, yes, the president said that he's going to set up factories and start making. What about the medicines and stuff? I told you in the last video, I went to get one of my meds. Might not be able to get it next month. And that's real. That's me telling you, brothers and sisters, it's real. Let's watch a little more of what, when they're out. He's talking about being out of supplies. Well, they actually are right there. As you go down the road, they actually make the, out of the ground, eventually can pull the supplies, heat it up, make it into things. It's all there. These are cities that do nothing but create. And one more time, I was a machinist. He can be retooled to make anything from weapons to health things to cell phone. You name it. It's very weird. And you think about the thing with the Hawaii, whatever, the phone company things and the 5Gs and all this other stuff going on. If you think for a second, the big monies and the things, and this could be sabotage for the stock market. We're already seeing it be hit. And again, everybody's feeling sorry. And China's going to get let off the ropes for all the debt they owe and all the monies they owe. You take a look at this, guys, and you think, and you let me know, because I think I already know.
Enough grills for every person in Dallas. Grills bring in $350 million a year, but WUHAN wants more. Little wonder Liu Jinye acts like a general leading his troops to war.
A general leading his troops to war. I can't make this up, guys.
By next year, managers expect workers to crank out $500 million worth of grills. WUHAN's profits have to rise to outmuscle the competition.
I'm going to scroll through so we can see what's ahead.
Mr. Ye supervises 850 workers on 30 on site, keeping supply costs low and parts within easy reach.
Because we are in this location pretty much isolated, we don't have satellite suppliers surround us to build parts for us. So we had to do it in-house, and we had to do it in a large scale.
There you go. He just said in-house, which means they make it all from scratch. The parts, whatever they need. So they have access to everything to make everything. Period. That's what that means. Are you getting my drift, guys? Share this video, because I doubt anybody else has put this together yet. And when you do share it, please ask them to subscribe And if you like it, click the like button. Because that's the one thing I do appreciate is I like new people coming to the team. Team Troy. Wonder Team. Peace and love. Let's watch some more, man.
WUPA's main advantage is a cheap and endless labor force, ready to work for a fraction of a Western wage. 16-year-old Mao Fen Guo left her family and came here in 2008. But Guo isn't just looking for work. She's here to escape poverty and make her mother proud. In China, many parents prefer sons to daughters.
My mother has only 2 daughters. She's always upset about that. And in order to not let her down, I must work harder and harder.
Guo is a worker in training. With about 1,000 other students, she attends WUPA's on-site trade school. To get here, she has...
And I think you know what we're getting to, guys. I'm going to come back to this. We're going to go through more of this in the next video. But I want to skip around a little bit. I want to show you what else I dug up. Let's check this out.
Into kitchen sinks, many for export to Canada. Plants like these transform China into the world's manufacturing superpower, churning out more than $6 billion in exports every single day. Now they're being taken over by robots. In a back room, mechanical arms pick up the half-finished sinks, twirling them against wheels that grind, buff, and polish. A couple of workers act as helpers. So far, there are 9 robots here doing the work of more than 200